Obviously, this is our first call since the game last
Yes.
weekend, which was obviously not the best result for Celtic, but as we've said, the league's already won, so it was a good time for Ange to test the waters. But what do you think about Burnaby and his kind of potential at Celtic moving forward?
I think he's changed it back three. There's three players at the back. You can't do that. Listen, you've got to give credit to Rangers. They've been decent against Celtic. They were a better team last week. I thought they get bullied off the ball. They bullied Celtic. But the thing is, I think Ange's done the right thing. We've won the league, and I think he's done the right thing. I think he would have got more out of that last week than what Rangers would have got. He knows now who's good enough and who's not. Yeah. And he knows that these boys coming in, they did, that's a red hot atmosphere. And you can either do it or you can't do it. And there's a few boys didn't step up to the mark last week. Didn't match up. So, but Ange will know who. I mean, it would have done more for Ange than what it would for anyone. And the certain players didn't step up. But nobody had a good game. And you're talking about. I can't think of anyone get past Mark last week. So and McGregor as well. Because McGregor as well now. That's for him. That's So. It's one end. The Rangers were a better team. They won the game. Fair play to them. Give them the credit and take it. And it's good for them because they'll build on it. It gives them a bit of hope for next year. And that's what they're building on. They go, right, we beat them. They were a better team than the last one, but we didn't win. And it's all about winning. So it gives them a bit of hope. And they'll kick on,
Yeah, definitely. One of the other things that has actually caused a bit of a tizzy is Jota winning goal of the season for that little chip against Rangers. I saw a fair few people on Twitter pretty unhappy about that goal being the winning goal, but I think it was deserved given the context of the game as well.
Context of the game, and it was a good goal. I didn't see it, to be honest with you. I didn't see the rest of the goals. What was in the frame for goal of the season. So that was for the sports writers, was it, or was it for the players?
The players, I think.
Oh, well, I would have thought technically it was a great goal, and the movement, and who was it? O'Reilly was it gave him the pass? Was it great ball? And it was a sharpness, and it was a great goal, but they took everything, didn't they? They even won the ladies. So they took everything. And quite rightly, Kyogo get the man out play the season because he's been outstanding. And just think the chances that he's missed this year. He could be up there with Haaland. And goals tally because it's I think the best is still to come for the man. So we'll see.
Yeah, I know it's an exciting time for sure.
Just come out the paper and he's done what everyone. He's won the domestic games and he's won the trophies and he's won to take Celtic to a different level in Europe, and I'm quite happy with that because that's when you get tested. I think Celtic should be aiming for the group stage. But I know we're in it this year to win it, but go and finish as high as you can. Finish high in the group. Make sure that they're still in Europe after Christmas. That's the aim for Celtic. To finish second or third, in the groups. That's your pinnacle to make sure you're still, and then you get more money for getting into group stage of the Europa League. And that's what they should be aiming for every year. And it'd be nice. It'd be nice, but he's wanting to make a dent in Europe. It's already playing well against Real Madrid for an hour. You've got to finish that off, and some of the chances we missed. I'm not saying it would have been any different because Real Madrid were, a hell of a team. But as it is, we'll never know if they took the chances. So, but I think that's what he's wanting. He's wanting to get a stronger team. I think a stronger squad after the weekend. After seeing what he's seen at the weekend, he'll know who's keeping and who's not keeping him. And we'll take it from here.
Yeah.
Into listen, everyone's writing Inverness off. I'm not.
No, you never know.
No, it's a one-off game, and John Robertson's the manager there now. Isn't he? Is it John Robertson? Is it? I think
so.
I think, and he'll be like that. Whoever manager, whoever it is, will be saying, they've not even mentioned you. Everyone's just saying you've got a credible. They've done this, and it's a one-off game. Wraith Rovers beat Celtic a final. It was. I wouldn't be too. I don't think that Inverness will win it. I think they'll be too strong, but
you never know.
I don't think Andrew will write them off. That's for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like that kind of guy at all.
I think you've got to give them the respect that they deserve to get in the final. So
yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and obviously we've got the summer window coming up very soon. One of the names that I'd seen Celtic being linked with is, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because he's got a very complicated last name, but he's Dutch. He's been likened to Virgil van Dijk in the Dutch media and by some of his coaches, but he's only 21, centre-back, but I don't know, do you think that that's the kind of level Celtic are looking for, kind of on the younger end?
I think so. I mean, we got Van Dijk, and right away, he was a bit raw. But right away, he was a head and shoulders above everyone else. You could actually see it. His thought process of the game was quicker than everyone else. You could read the game like nobody I've seen. It was like Alan Hansen. He used to do that. Hansen used to be, wasn't the most physical person, but he could read the game so well, and you're thinking, how do you get that? And he's ahead of you. So I think. We've only got two. I think Kobayashi's all over the place at the weekend, but he'll learn off that if they're going to keep him. And it's these games, he either goes one way or the other. Kobayashi, he either gets built up, he gets stronger, and he takes it and says, I get put about like a ragdoll, and he'll not do that again. That's the way you've got to look at it. So that's the way Kobayashi's got to take. He's got to take it in stride and say, okay, it's my first big game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I think he's going to need a centre half. I think he needs a big centre half because it just shows you Cal Vickers out how weak.
Yeah.
So I've done all right, but with three boys in the back line changed, that's it's not the kind of game. But Ange said he might have made mistakes playing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he had much. I think he could only put Bernabeu. He could put Greg Taylor in. I don't think he had any choice with the other ones. I mean, Kobayashi, is he better than Welsh? I don't know at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. It's one of them. So it is what it is. He's came in and he got a lesson. And it's how you use that. It's how you use that lesson. If you take it on board and say that's not going to happen again, build yourself up, be stronger, then it won't happen again. He's got all summer, so. He's a little bit small for me. I like a big centre half, so when you're looking at it, I knew the back four at the weekend were in trouble because they've got big lads, they've got big boys, and so that was it. But I think a centre half, yes, definitely for Celtic. I think he's going to bring one in.
Yeah, I reckon so. Actually, just on Rangers, obviously. It's now kind of pretty much been confirmed that Morelos is going at the end of the season. That was his last chance to play against Celtic, and Beale chose not to bring him on for a last hurrah. Were you surprised at all by that? You thought he would have got 5 minutes?
No, I thought he's had his chance. I knew when the manager mentioned him the week before, and says, or 2 weeks before, he says that I brought him on. He didn't do anything for him.
Yeah.
No movement. So I knew that was it, finished. When you get slated with a manager in public, I think the writing's on the wall.
Yeah. One of the other things from that game, and we've obviously seen it before, was the no guard of honour, as is customary when Celtic visit Ibrox as winners. But what do you think about that? Do you like to see that to keep the kind of rivalry alive?
I'd have thought. If it was the Rangers, I'd have thought I'd have done wanted to do it. Listen, make this a lie, if they're the champions, you applaud them on, just like every other ground in the country does it. There's huge derbies. Real Madrid and Barcelona do it, and they get a guard of honour. They put their rivalries aside and accept that they were. As I said, the league table doesn't lie at the end of the season. The best team doesn't win the cup all the time because it's only 4 or 5 games. But the best team wins the league over the course of 38 games.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they couldn't do it. It'd have been even better. See, they've done it and then beat them. It would have been even better. So that was a wee chance to get a wee bit of. There's too much at the moment. I've never seen it so bad, to be honest with you. The rivalry, and the bit of the supporters, and I just thought it was a wee chance for them to do something right, and they didn't. But I don't get bothered.
No.
I don't get bothered. Rangers, Celtic too much. So.
Yeah. Still winners at the end of the day, I suppose, regardless. Also one of the other big talking points kind of around Rangers is this elusive goalkeeper position. They've obviously got McGregor is done, I think, by the end of the season. They've got McLaughlin there, they've got McCrory who came in, but there has been this conversation around, is McCrory the number one next season, or do they need to buy someone?
But they're talking about Butland.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I think he's around about Hart's age. I think he's like early 30s, I think.
Would he come up here? I don't know. I think he would have. I think he's a decent keeper. Would they get offers for other places? I think he'd make offers.
Yeah.
Stay down south, but listen, no getting away from it. They're a big club, so it's. I don't know. I don't know if they'd come up here. That's the talk. They're talking about buying this one for 5 million and that one for. I don't know where they're getting the money, but it's incredible. They've got a lot of players out. I just can't. I'm baffled and shocked that nobody is coming on about why is 8 players getting let go for nothing?
No.
It's just beggars belief how bad it's run.
Yeah, I know. Well, because we've obviously spoken about Kent, and he does seem to be again one of the ones that is going out the door. But we spoke about Fenerbahce before. It's now looking like they are willing to offer him like 30 grand a week, I think, to sign for them. I mean, I think he's worth 30 grand a week.
It must be somebody's want to pay him. He's a talented boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd pay him that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The Turkish no game if he doesn't perform. They're not. It's not the first time they've not paid somebody's wages over there. So if he messes about, I don't think he'll get paid. But listen, he's a talented boy. He should be getting that. He should be getting more than that. Because he's in today's market, he's a good player, but he doesn't do it enough. And it's going to be downfall. That is going to be downfall because you get talent like that. You should be getting 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 every week when you get talent like that. And he goes for 8 or 9 till 4. There's no in between. You can't do that.
Yeah, I know. He's just lacking that consistency.
Yeah, but you go from that high and then get down and 3 and 4 he was getting at some points.
Mm-hmm.
And he shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be getting that kind of marks. So he's a talented boy. Does he deserve 30 grand a week? If he plays, yeah, he should be getting a hell of a lot more than that because he's got that good a talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Dele Alli rings the name, but he's the same. He's got that kind of talent and he's just letting himself go, so it's a shame. Yeah,
definitely. It'll be interesting to see how everything plays out. One of the other things we had we actually mentioned it last week that Tillman was included in the team of the season. He also won Young Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Rangers fans, I see on Twitter, not super happy about that decision. They don't think he deserves it. Do you think he deserves it?
I think he deserved it, no, but I think there was a lot of young players in Scotland deserved it more than him, to be honest with you. I just don't get it. I don't get why. Yeah, they let him go weeks before he's due to go, and he's talking about coming back to Rangers. He doesn't know whether he's going to. They've not got £5 million to pay for him, and the fans would be uproar because he never turns up. The biggest thing for the fans was he never turned up in any of the big games.
Yeah.
He played well against the so-called lesser teams, but he didn't turn up in any of the big games. And that's what they were saying. And that's what big players do. They turn up in the games like that. So it was a shock to me. But listen, that's what it is. He came over, fair play to him, he flew over with his wife and took the award and soaked up the applause, and he'll go way back. And I don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah.
He's a player. But again, you've got to do it all the time at Rangers. You've got to. I'm saying Rangers, I'm saying Celtic, but you've got to do it all the time. Anywhere you go, it's whatever club you play for, you've got to give them everything. And boys seem to don't do that now. They just can't be bothered this week. And no, I don't see anyone getting them by the scruff of the neck and saying, yeah, it was a strange. The first one I've seen was last week. Remember the Real Madrid game at the Bernabeu, and the guy Rudiger ran over and pulled the right back up for faking injuries. He pulled him up and said, "Get on your feet." And I thought, that's the old scratch that the big centre halves when they like to do that. About that, and that's what Rudiger done. He gave the guy a hard time, which is quite right.
Yeah.
But this doesn't turn up, so he's a good player, but he's only young.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's a big boy, and he should be stamping his mark on. They should have been fighting to keep him if he was that good. They're not. That says everything.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously there's been a lot of rumblings around Rangers and potential signings. We've spoken about a couple before, lots of players on freeze, but I think it's looking like they could potentially have something like 5 deals over the line before the start of, before the end of the season, before the start of pre-season. Would you be surprised if they're that organised and get it done quickly?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, they've got to bring in players. Do I think they'll bring in players going to go right in the first? I think they've done all right. But I think that Ruskin, whatever he called, he's a decent player.
Yeah.
They've got players coming back. They've not got a bad squad, to be honest with you. They've given Jack another contract. So they've got decent players there. Coulson was going last year, but nobody wanted him. He's staying, and he's a decent player. The biggest thing for me, I'll make a statement now. Rangers have never had a penalty against them now. No. They're the only team in world football that's never had a penalty given against them this season. And that's for the last 2 seasons. So I'll guarantee you now the league's done. I bet you get a penalty against them next week. The referees will say, no, we give them a penalty. I don't know what's going to happen with the boys there. They've got decent players, whether they keep them or not. A big club like Rangers, you would expect people to say, I want to stay here and I want to do this and I want to do that, unless you fill it with the manager, which I don't think anyone has. So why would you not want to stay? So they're all getting let go. Listen, I'll believe him when I see it, because you can't believe anything. It's 4 million for him, 5 million for him, and I'm thinking, well, I can understand if all these players that are leaving are going to make you money. They're just freeing up wages. So I can't see Rangers paying 4 and 5 million for a couple. They're saying 5 million for one and 4 million for another. 9 million for 2 players. I can't see it happening.